Good morning, students. Now we can discuss about theories of ionization. Theories of ionization. And first theory is Arrhenius theory. Arrhenius theory. Okay. Arrhenius proposed this theory. Arrhenius proposed this theory to explain the behavior of electrolyte. To explain the behavior of electrolyte and process of electrolysis. Behavior of electrolyte and process of electrolysis. Okay. The important postulates of this theory are first point. The electrolyte means solution. Okay. The electrolyte is dissolved in water. The electrolyte is dissolved in water. Okay. To form two types of charged particles. Okay, electrolyte is dissolved in water. They form two types of charged particles. Okay, the positive charge is called cation. Okay, the negative charged ion is called what? Anion. Okay, first postulate is the electrolyte is dissolved in water. Then it forms two types of charged particles. Okay, the positive charged particle is called cation. The negative charged particle is called anion. Okay, the second postulate is the ions. Okay, the ions constantly combine to form a molecule. The ions positive and negative combine to form a molecule. Okay, that means the second postulate is the ions constantly combine to form a undissociated molecule. Okay, let us consider A, B. Okay, molecule A, B. These can be dissociated into A plus B minus. Okay, that means electrolyte is dissolved in water. They can form two types of charged particles. This is cation, this is anion. This is first point. The next point is the ions. Ions means positive and negative. Okay, the ions constantly combine to form an undissociated molecule. Okay, this is undissociated molecule. This is dissociated ions, not molecule. Undissociated molecule. This is dissociated molecule. Ions. Sorry. Okay. Then there exists an equilibrium between undissociated molecule and dissociated ions. Okay. The second postulate is the ions constantly combine to form an undissociated molecule. Okay. The third postulate is the fraction of molecules. Okay. The fraction of molecules ionize. That means combine. Okay. The fraction of molecules ionize to form an degree of ionization. Okay. The fraction of molecules ionize is called degree of ionization. Degree of ionization. Fraction of molecules ionize. That means degree of ionization alpha. Okay. In the dilute solution we can discuss degree of association and degree of dissociation. Here degree of ionization. Okay, alpha. Here alpha is equal to the ratio of number of molecules ionized. Okay, ionized by total number of molecules. Total number of molecules. This is the degree of ionization. That means alpha is equal to lambda V by lambda infinity. Okay. The next postulate is the number of ions, okay, the ions which are responsible for the ions means positive and negative. The ions which are responsible for the conductivity of the solution. Okay, which are responsible for the conductivity of the solution. So only those compounds, okay, only those compounds, only some compounds can form ions. Only few compounds. Okay, all compounds do not form ions. Okay, only some compounds can form ions, which are responsible for the conductivity of the solution. That is fourth postulate. The fifth postulate is, that means, okay, the conductivity of the solution which depends upon the conductivity of the solution which depends upon the number of ions. Okay, the compound gives number of ions. Okay, or the number of ions present in the solution. The conductivity of the solution depends upon the number of ions present in the solution. Okay, the last point, sixth point is, the solution gives more number of ions. The solution gives more number of ions is called strong electrolyte. The solution gives less number of ions is called weak electrolytes. More number of ions, strong electrolyte. Weak, less number of ions, weak electrolyte. This is the sixth point. The first point is, the molecule or the electrolyte is dissolved in water. They can form two types of charged particles. Positive charged particle is called cation, negative charged particle is called anion. The next point is, the ions constantly combine to form a undissociated molecule. This is undissociated molecule. This is dissociated ions. Okay, so there exists a equilibrium. Equilibrium means here, double arrow. Okay, there exists a equilibrium between undissociated molecule and dissociated ions. The third postulate is degree of ionization. That means the fraction of molecules ionized. The fraction of molecule ionized is called degree of ionization. Degree of ionization alpha equal to number of moles ionized by total number of molecules. Okay, next, the fifth postulate is the fourth postulate is the conductivity of the solution which depends upon the number of the ions. Okay, that means only some molecules can form or can use ions. Okay, that compounds are called electrolyte. Okay, next, the fifth point is the conductivity of the solution. The conductivity of the solution which depends upon the number of ions present in the solution or electrolyte. Okay, the number of ions present in the solution. Next, the sixth postulate is the solution which gives more number of ions. The solution or electrolyte. Okay, the solution which give more number of ions is called strong electrolyte. Okay, the solution or electrolyte which gives less number of ions is called weak electrolyte. Okay, this is the theory of ionization. Okay, by using this theory we can explain the behavior of electrolyte and process of electrolysis. Okay, the next theory is Ostwald's Oxford's dilution law. According to Arrhenius, according to Arrhenius, AB exists equilibrium between A plus and B minus. Okay. According to Arrhenius, okay, the molecule, that means the undissociated molecule, there exists equilibrium between ions. Okay. According to Arrhenius, there exists equilibrium between undissociated molecule and dissociated ions. Okay. Next, we can take molecule, undissociated molecule AB. Okay, let us consider undissociated molecule AB. Okay, this is dissolved in V liters of the solution. Okay, the electrolyte AB is dissolved in V liters of the another solution. Okay, and alpha is the degree of ionization. Okay, then AB gives rise to A plus and B minus. The initial concentrations is, okay, here we can take 1 mole of AB. Okay, 1 mole of AB is dissolved in V liters of the solution. 1 mole of AB is dissolved in V liters of the solution. That means the concentration of AB initial is 1 mole. Okay, concentration of the A plus and B minus is 0 and 0. Okay, finally, the final concentrations is, the concentration of AB is 1 minus alpha. The concentration of A plus is alpha and this is also alpha. Okay. Next, the concentration of AB is equal to, concentration means closed brackets. Okay, the concentration of AB is equal to 1 minus alpha by B, V liters of the solution. Okay, this is alpha by B and this is alpha by V. According to law of mass action, okay, according to law of mass action, law of mass action, the ionization constant K is equal to ionization constant K. Okay, not kappa. Ionization constant K is equal to concentration of products by concentration of reactants. That means concentration of A plus into concentration of B minus by concentration of AB. Ionization constant is equal to concentration of products. Products means here. Okay, this is reactant, this is product. Concentration of products by concentration of reactant. That means concentration of A plus means alpha by B. Okay, K is equal to alpha by B into alpha by B by concentration of AB means 1 minus alpha by B. That means K is equal to alpha square by V square into V by 1 minus alpha. That means ionization constant K is equal to alpha by B into 1 minus alpha. This is the dilution constant of the dilution law. Next, for weak electrolyte. For weak electrolyte, 1 minus alpha can be neglected in the denominator. That means ionization constant K means ionization constant alpha equal to alpha by V. That is equal to V. K is equal to alpha. Okay, that means K means constant. So V is directly proportional to the, sorry, this is alpha square. Okay, alpha square. V is, this is constant. So V is directly proportional to the alpha square. That means alpha is directly proportional to the square root of the volume. That means degree of ionization is always directly proportional to the square root of the volume of the solution for V electrolyte. Okay, next, limitations. First one is, by using this theory, okay, we can, this theory is applicable for only weak electrolyte and for dilute solutions. This theory is applicable for weak electrolyte and dilute solutions only. Okay, that is first point. The next point is the ionization constant. This is ionization constant value. Okay, the ionization constant value is not taken in a constant. Okay, not constant for strong electrolyte. Weak electrolyte, it is constant. So we can write proportional. Okay, but for strong electrolyte, the ionization constant is not constant. So we can does not explain this for strong electrolyte from this theory. First limitation is this theory is applicable for weak electrolyte and for dilute solutions. The next point is the ionization constant K not to be constant value. Okay, for strong electrolyte. Next, importance or advantages. Importance. By using this theory, okay, we can calculate the ionization constant value. For weak electrolyte. Okay, by using this theory. Next, by using this theory, we can calculate the alpha value also. Okay, we can calculate the alpha value. Alpha means degree of ionization. Okay, that is dissociation and association. Degree of ionization. By using this theory, we can calculate ionization constant. The next point is, by using this theory, we can calculate the alpha value. Alpha value means degree of ionization. Thank you, students.